Hello, viewers. Welcome back. So, this is part 8 of our session on Tally's Billwise feature, and this will be the concluding session on the Billwise feature. So, in the last session, we saw how we can leverage the Billwise detail for non trading account, where you can manage your monthly liability payment of various liabilities, which is your term loan and various other loans. And also, we saw how you can have your receivables, non trading receivable, like advances and loans that you provide to your employees, can be managed through the Billwise detail. So in this session, we will see the reporting. Basically, we will concentrate on the reporting of the Billwise detail, and we will see what are the reporting techniques that you can use for getting first-hand information on your outstanding of your receivables and payables also. A quick recap. So we saw how you can enable Billwise detail for non-trading account. We also saw what is the slight difference in the enablement interface between Tally Prime and Tally ERP also. And then we saw how we saw example on handling of loan installment, and we also saw handling of multiple salary advances on loan. So now we will go to Tally, and then we will see the reports in Tally. So first we will start with Tally Prime, and we will see the reporting. More or less, majority of the reporting information that you will derive out of these outstanding statements will be same in Tally Prime and also in Tally ERP. There are slight changes as far as, for example, uh, once you are viewing your outstanding statement, if you want to send a reminder letter to those customers, how can we configure? And a slight difference is there in the generating the reminder letter for the parties in Tally Prime and Tally ERP, which we will see. I will show that. And also, normally what happens is that year end, when the books are being finalized, when your books are being audited, you need to get the balance confirmation of the party ledgers. So can you generate a balance confirmation letter from Tally itself? Yes, you can generate. So basically, from Tally, you can generate a reminder letter for the parties, and also you can generate a balance confirmation, which we will see now. In our previous sessions, we have seen the outstanding report. So we'll quickly just go through those reports from where we can, in fact, configure more uh, views for you to have better control over your receivables and payables. Okay. So one is the menu path where from the gateway of Tally, you go to display more report, enter, and then you go to statement of account, enter, and then you go to outstanding. So when you go to outstanding, we will see when you want to see all the receivables, you go to receivable, and then Tally is going to give you the list of all the receivables which you are supposed to receive as on date. Similarly, payable will bring all the payable. Now here, you have to remember that we have enabled non-trading account also, where we have captured the bill-wise information for non-trading receivable and also non-trading payable. So those things also will get listed here. Basically, you can see this. If we go to receivable, you will see all the receivables uh, which are due as on date, due or to be due, outstanding as on date. Similarly, you go to payable. When you click on payable, it is going to give you the list of all the payables. Okay. Then if you want to see the outstanding of a particular ledger. Okay, so in that case you can go to the ledger menu and then select ledger. Then Tally will give you the list of all the ledgers where you can go and select a particular ledger. For example, I am selecting this first ledger. It is going to give me my outstanding of that particular ledger. The fourth option that you have is group. So uh, you can now select a particular group. So in the, what is the difference between receivable? In the receivable, if you see, by default, Tally is going to give you list of all outstanding of all receivable. Okay. Now, if you want to further segregate or further, see a particular group, then you can select this group. And when you select this group, Tally is going to give you the list of all the groups where the bill-wise detail has been enabled. So if you notice here, apart from your sundry debtors and your sundry creditors, which is trading bill-wise detail, we have also enabled bill-wise detail in the last session on secured loans, the other loans which is the non-trading bill-wise information. Similarly, we also did the salary advance part. So if you now, by selecting the group menu, you can go to a particular group and then you can see. So I can select sundry debtors and it is going to give me the list of all outstanding of my sundry debtors. The pending bills of my sundry debtor, it is going to give me the uh, detail. Okay. So this is the menu route. Now from the gateway of Tally, if you want to see, you can also see through our secret number 3, which is our go to. You can press Alt G go to, and then you can say receivable. So you will get bills receivable. Similarly, you can say bills payable, and you want to see a particular ledger outstanding. Then you type ledger, then you're going to get the ledger outstanding, and then you can see the ledger outstanding. So let us go to receivable through the go to option, and then we will say receivable, bills receivable, and you're going to get all the bills receivable. Now here you're already here, right? So now you don't want the receivable of your salary advances, right? You want to only view the receivable of your party account, which are your customers who are part of your sundry debtors. Now, from this report, how do you filter? Now, again, this is a very powerful feature in Tally, which again we will see in a separate session. In our reporting session, we will see how you can configure these filters and various other reports that we can see. So like I said in one of my previous session, the power of Tally is in reporting. So now, what is our requirement? Our requirement is you don't want to see the receivable of all this salary advances, okay, which are where you have some vehicle advance you have given, festival advance you have given. You want to see only the sundry debtors. So how do you now achieve this objective? Very simple. So Tally's uh, powerful filtering feature is available, which is available in literally every report of Tally. You can use that filter and then you can view the information based on your criteria that you are going to set up for any report. Now here the criteria that we want to set up is that I don't want to see the salary advance outstanding. I want to see only the parties account. So now here, remember your secret number 1, right? So again, I'll repeat. If you remember these 3 secrets, especially in a Tally Prime, your right hand side button bar, your F12 configuration, and your go to, right? Now here, if you see uh, under F12, you will notice that there is this left pointing arrow, which is basically indicates that in within this F12 configuration, there are other actionable buttons which are there, right? So you click here When you click here, it is going to show you the other actionable buttons under your F12. Okay. Or you can also use, if you recall, I said one is that you see your right hand side button bar and see what you want to achieve. If you're not getting on the primary buttons that are there, so you can also press alt. So when you press alt, you will notice that the options of alt nature are visible here, which you can use them. So here you will see, when I press alt, it says under alt F12, you have a button called range, right? So we will see what is that range. Okay. Even by pressing alt button, if you are not getting your intended actionable button, then you press control. So when you press control, again, it is going to show you all control related keyboard shortcut or the actionable buttons, right? So here for us under control, we have nothing. So we have this alt F12, right? So either you press alt F12 or you can take your mouse, click on the arrow, not on F12. If you click on F12, it is going to give you the configuration. So click on the arrow. It is going to show you the other hidden actionable buttons. And now you select alt F12. Now this is where, so this is like your SQL query, where you, from a given set of data, you want to further apply certain filter based on the criteria that you wanted, right? So I pressed Alt F12. So now it is Tally is asking you that tell me what is the filter that you want to apply on this given data. So since we are seeing this bill-wise detail, so Tally is giving you the list information, so which you can't change anything, right? So now you select bill. Now is very important. So you say bill having. So now this again, if you see, if you keep trying this combination, you will get what you wanted. So initially, you might not. Yes, some of you might have difficulty in trying to specify a proper criteria. So over a period of time, as you keep practicing, you will get to understand this logic and how this filtering is going to work. Okay. So what is that I want? I want to say that bill having ledgers, okay, with group name, okay, with name. Now, again, you see there is this range of information as empty, non-empty, containing, ending with, equal to, greater than, not containing. So all this, criteria that you can apply. So basically, I want to say that uh, containing what? Okay, I'm saying show me those ledgers where the group of this ledger name is sundry debtors. So I'll say DEBTORS. You can say sundry debtors at all, because we have used this containing. So any of the thing, wherever this particular word that you are typing, if it contains, it is going to filter and give you. Okay, enter. Now this way, like I said, we will discuss in detail about these filters in a separate session. So, okay. So right now, just understand what is that we want to achieve. We want to filter out only those ledgers which has a group name called sundry debtors. Okay. So you can actually give and argument or argument and all those things. Okay. So I'm going to say end of list. Okay. And now if you notice, you are now getting list of only those ledgers which are grouped under the parent called sundry debtors. So you have the sundry debtors list. We have already seen this. Now, what are the other things that we can do with this bill-wise detail, right? So one is that yes, so we are seeing that there are multiple bills which are overdue. There are certain bills which are yet to fall due, and it's also telling Tally is also telling you when this bills are going to be due, right? So the other thing, now we are going to use our first secret number one, which is our right hand side button bar. So if you see here, period, if you want to change the period, you can change the period. Company is basically, you can select some other company. You can change the company if you are working on more than one company loaded on Tally, right? So group is basically This is sundry data we have filtered. If you want to see some other group, you can click on group and then Tally will give you the list. So all this I would want you to try, right? So bills payable is basically we are seeing bills receivable. If you don't have to go back and then select bills payable and then come into the report, just click F5 bills payable and then you are going to get this thing. Okay. Now what we are going to see is the aging method. So here, though you are getting the aging, you are not getting a visualization of these bills which are pending. So one it says 76, 94, 56, 44, and all those things. So the better way of viewing this outstanding would be if you could filter this outstanding based on the aging period. Like for example, you can say if you want to see how many bills are pending less than 30 days, between 30 and 60 days, 60 to 90 days, 90 days and above. So you can do this. How are we going to do this? We are going to now use F6 or age-wise method. Click on age-wise method. So here Tally is asking you the aging analysis. What is the method of aging that you want to apply, right? So aging by bill date and aging by due date. So since you have a credit policy, it makes sense for you to view the aging analysis based on the due date, because only from the due date is what your concern of your overdue receivables, right? So you come to aging by due date, enter, and now Tally is asking you, give me the periodicity, right? So I can say here, you can this is user defined field. You can specify whatever field you want. So how do we do this? So for example, let us say I'm going to say aging from 0 to 30 days, 30 to 60. Okay, then let's say I want to see only between 30 to 60 and 60 and above, or you want to make it 60 to 90. And very important thing you have to remember here, how do you break this chain, right? So for you to break this chain, so if you want to see the last column as all the bills which are over due and overdue over 90 days, right? So there you Tally by default it puts 0. So 0 is where you are going to break this, right? So 0 is there, just press enter and it is asking you to accept. So the moment you accept, it is now going to give you the aging analysis. So now you will see here that less than 30 days, what is the total amount that are outstanding? You get the total here at the bottom. Between 30 to 60 days, the amount is given. 60 to 90 days, the amount is given, right? And 90 days and above, there is only one bill which is pending, right? Which this was supposed to be paid on 17th of April, but you are today on 20th of July in this company. So it is saying you that this is greater than 90 days. Okay, from the due date of the bill to your current reporting date, right? So this is how you see this thing. So now you are seeing this uh, outstanding receivable wise. Now here it is basically going to give you not party wise bill outstanding. It is giving you based on the bill date, right? If you want to now see, so for example, if you see here, olive has got two invoices, then forefront has got two invoices, sun has got one invoice here, sun has got one invoice there. So it will be better for you to see party wise, right? So now again, if you see here on the right hand side, you have this button which says ledger wise bills. So just click on ledger wise bill, and now you are going to get each party wise, which is ledger wise, each party wise, the bills outstanding with the aging information, right? So this gives you a better uh, idea of analyzing your outstanding. So this is one age-wise report that you can view, right? So now I'm going to just press escape. Now, if you want to come back to bill-wise again, so you click here. So from ledger-wise, the button is toggled to bill-wise, right? So you can say bill-wise. Now again, if you notice here, you find this blue color arrow which is active. So this is inactive, which is grayed out. That means there are no buttons inside this. So if you see here, when you click here, it is also going to have another information where if you want to include post-dated voucher. Now I'm sure that you are clear about the management of the post-dated voucher, which we have seen in our earlier sessions. Okay, so this way it is important. So one is that it is important that you start concentrating on these buttons and see what all actions that you can perform on a given report for you to get better idea, or for you to have better uh, data for analysis purpose. Okay, so now let's go to bill wise detail. So I'm going to go to bill wise detail, and now we will see the other information. What are the other information? Like if you see basis of value, when you click on basis of value, here you have this option. So again, you have this include post dated voucher, which we had already seen earlier. So pending bill, whether you want to see only overdue bill or all pending bill which is overdue and which is not due as on date also. So that is what you get in your basis of value. Now, in the change view, what are the other kind of analysis that you can perform on this given report? Okay, so click on change view. When you go to change view, so you have this. So this ledger wise bill just now we saw. So change view is basically you are seeing bills receivable. If you want to go to bills payable, you can quickly switch from receivable to payable. Okay. Then you can see summary, you can see monthly summary, then you can see related cash flow, fund flow, then receipts and payments and other things, which we will cover them in the independent sessions. Okay. So click on show more. If there is anything more here, there is nothing more, which is already getting listed here. So you don't have to worry. So that's about your change view. Then comes your exception report, right? So related to this particular report that you are seeing, what are the exceptions that you can see here? When you click on exception report, so you have this. So we have already seen overdue receivable through the menu path of exception report in the previous session, right? So overdue receivable, click here. It is just going to straight away give you all the overdues. Similarly, you have this overdue payable. Now this negative ledger. What is this negative ledger? See, if you recall our fundamentals of accounting, where we discussed about the components of balance sheet, the component of P&L account, and then we also discussed about the default balance that each of this four primary group is going to carry. So asset is going to carry by default debit balance, liability is going to carry by default credit balance, income credit balance, expenses debit balance. Now, under asset, we also saw various subgroups under the assets. So, one of the subgroup was current asset, and under current asset, we also saw other groups, and one of the group that we saw is sundry debtors. So, sundry debtors by default should have debit balance as per our accounting principles, right? Now, a negative ledger is one. Normally, you should have debit balance for your sundry debtors ledger. Supposing a sundry debtor ledger is having a credit balance. So, when could you have a credit balance? Under two circumstances, you can have credit balance for your sundry debtors. Number one, if you are also purchasing from your customer. So one is you are making sales to your customer, and maybe you are purchasing something else from that customer also. So there are bills which you are supposed to make the payment against that particular bill, and there are other bills which you are supposed to receive money pertaining to those bills, right? So any bill, any balance which has got credit balance, according to this accounting principle, that is a negative ledger. That's a negative ledger. So any particular ledger where the balance is showing as credit will show as negative ledger. So that is use case number one. Use case number two is if you are receiving advance. So again, we saw the example of advance in the previous sessions. So if you're receiving advance from a customer for future supply, then the balance of that particular reference is going to be credit. So that's again a negative ledger. So this way, quickly you can go and then you can see the opposite behavior of the balance of a ledger through this exception report. Okay. Yeah. Now this is you have this new button. Uh, People who have already upgraded to release 2.0, which was released on 27th of July. So we have this long wish list of many customers that to save a particular report, right? So here, what did we do? We went into receivable and then we applied the filter, filtered out all the non-sundry data ledgers and so many other, and then we went into age-wise analysis, and then we gave this periodicity and all those things. So that means literally we did 2 3 configuration. Now every time when you want to see this report quickly, you don't have to. Sometimes what happens is that you might forget that what kind of configuration that you did to get this particular report. So now from release 2.0 onwards, you have an option where whatever is the current report that you are seeing, and if this is the report that you want to always see instantaneously, then you can save this view. We will have a separate session of how to manage this beautiful feature of save view. Okay, so currently we are in the bill wise thing. Okay, so this is how you use your these buttons. Now let's come back. So if you want to go to bills payable, just click here bills payable, right? So now it is giving you blank. Why is it giving you blank? Because we have applied a filter saying that show me only those ledgers which are under the group name called sundry debtors. So under bills payable, there are no ledgers which have been uh, classified under sundry debtors. That is why the report is giving you blank. So that means once you apply the filter, that filter is going to be applicable for all your actions that you are doing. So now just escape this. When I just clicked escape, so now it is now giving you the default report of your bills payable. So all your term loan, Citibank loan, all your sundry creditors to whom you have to make payment. But if you remember, we had done this bill wise aging analysis, and the aging analysis is intact, right? So you don't have to again go and do this aging analysis. Now I press one more escape. I'm out of this. Now when I go to receivable thing, this is my normal way of going into a report, which is the default report. So now the aging is gone. So all this configuration, once you are out of the report, these configurations will not be retained. You have to reconfigure them. Okay. So now when I go to bills payable, click here, it is going to automatically take me to bills payable. Now let us just quickly come to ledger and see what are the other things that we can do.